Connie's here. Okay. So we still have people waiting to come in, but we've started. Have you started, Alan?
Yes, the recording is on.
All right. So here we go. Welcome to Bloomington Rotary Club's weekly celebration of service for June 16th, 2020. I'm Aaron Davis, the current club president, and it's just great to have everyone here. We have over 54 people already, including special guests. So after our pledge and reflection, we'll have brief announcements, and our program will be a series of 2 breakout sessions. So at the end, we will present a very special award to a very remarkable member of our club. So it'll be an interesting meeting, a bit of an experiment, thanks to the hard work of Michael Shermis and Alan Barker. So here we go. So I'm going to now invite my friend and past District Governor Cornelia Sue Wright to give our pledge and give a reflection. Sue was recently honored by our Rotary District 6580 for her dedication and service. Sue and flag.
Everybody ready?
Give me 1 second, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's all yours.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it
stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice
for all. Thank you, everyone. All right, Aaron asked me to have a reflection, and
Sorry.
That's okay, that's okay. Aaron had asked me to give a reflection, and I want to thank Aaron and also Jim Bright for having me here today. And again, I always enjoy visiting your club. As you remember, my first goal during my district governor year was to bring awareness of diversity to Rotary clubs in District 6580. So I would like to reflect on that goal today. When I was at the International Assembly in San Diego, a Nigerian said to me, there is a lack of awareness that the clubs in the United States do not include people of color. But I want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank your club awareness of the racial division that exists not only within Rotary, but within our country right now. Quoting Desmond Tutu, "My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together." So I would like to take a moment just to acknowledge 2 positive actions that your club has taken toward that goal of diversity and inclusion. I just recently found out that you have now club funds to be used for diversity and inclusion. And I can't help feeling that this step will help your club thrive. And I'm asking you to please consider Jim Sims' knowledge and experience for guidance on how those funds will be distributed. And I do hope the fund will be ongoing and grows for many years to come. And please continue those important, uncomfortable conversations about racism and inclusion, because everyone can listen and learn. Remember, I don't know whether you saw this, but there's the Emmy Award play Hamilton that has a song titled "In the Room Where It Happens." And all influential discussions of racism and inclusion need to have people of color in the room and their voices heard before any final decisions are made. The second one is, again, the Council on Legislation that was approved, Bloomington, Indiana's resolution 18R-31, it was approved by a vote of 304 to 192. Again, I want to thank Mike Baker, Sarah Laughlin, and all the others for allowing me to assist with the final version of the resolution. I struggled because our Council on Legislation representative told me the resolution would never pass if we added people of different races and ethnicities to the resolution. As you know, it did pass because I was confident the resolution would pass, but I was disturbed that our district representative felt this way, and I was once again the only Black person in this discussion. I'm going to take Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech out of context because I have a dream that one day I will live in a nation where I will not be judged by the color of my skin, but I will be judged fairly by my education, my skills, and my experience to lead. So I would like for every Bloomington Rotarian to send an email to John Huco to make sure your resolution 18R-31 becomes Rotary's international mantra. To request the Rotary International Board to consider increasing opportunities for women, young leaders, and people of different races and ethnicities to serve in district, zone, and Rotary International leadership positions. And in conclusion, I would like to quote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. again, that everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve, and you don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And thank you again for having me here today.
Thank you, Sue. Those are core Rotary values to me. Thank you. Now let's introduce guests who haven't been introduced. Jim Bright, who's in the house?
Thank you, Aaron. We're pleased to have with us today Past Sister Governor Judy Bush of Bedford. Welcome, Judy. Dr. Whitney Cordoba is back with us, a Fulbright scholar from Columbia who now works at Centerstone. Also, we have with us today the incoming president of Rotaract, Megan Gerhardt, the IU chapter of Rotaract. And also I saw Beverly Teach online here. Beverly is the president of the Brown County Rotary Club. Are there other Rotarians in the house who I've missed?
I would like to introduce two guests of mine. Joining us from Perrysburg, Ohio. Well, there are actually three guests. I forgot my son, Eric Weistein, and the two I remembered were my grandchildren, 6-year-old Marcus and 10-year-old Iris.
Hello, and thank you for allowing us to be present.
And my daughter-in-law, Faye.
Oh, welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Great.
Do we have any other, any Rotarians here? Anyone else that we didn't recognize? Peggy Frisbee is here. Okay. All right. Well, greetings to all of you, everyone who signed into this meeting in any way you have, even if it's just by phone and internet without video or even without microphone. Even if we don't see your face, your engagement is deeply appreciated. And welcome. So welcome everybody to the Rotary Club of Bloomington, Indiana. I want to start with our Rotary family. We have some birthdays this week, including Liz Feidel, June 14th. Hey, Liz. David Coop on the 18th, Jim Harvey on the 20th, and Marshall Goss on June 20th, and also Peter Kroner. And membership anniversaries, we have two this week. Martha Wales, 7 years in the club, and Gil Souza, 1 year. So Rotarians in the news, always in the news, so please check with the HT, Bloom Magazine, and other local media. The Saturday HT included a story and photos on the 3 incoming presidents of Bloomington Rotary Clubs, including our own Ashley Sullivan. The June and July issue of Bloom magazine includes a retrospective that includes write-ups of many of our club's Rotarians, including Jim Sims and Doris, Charlotte Zitlow, Michael Shermis, Kyla Cox-Deckard, Dr. Raj Hadawi, Efrat Pfefferman, Sarah Laughlin, Sandy Keller, and Tina Peterson, who's an organizational member. So this gratitude and recognition for all of our members and the important roles in the community. Rotary action updates. I'll give an abbreviated version as usual, but our club was honored last Friday at Rotary District 6580 celebration, receiving the 2019-2020 District Governor's Citation. So well done, everyone. Also honored were Jim Bright, Lance Eberly, Joy Harder, and Lauren Snyder. And it was really cool because Rotary International President Mark Maloney addressed the celebration. So very, very interesting and warm community that any of you, if you want to reach out and up into the district, wonderful people there. And some of them are here too. Judy Bush, Sue Wright, Jim Bright. Our organizational member of NAACP Monroe County branch has released a statement on the recent protests against police brutality and in favor of equal rights and justice. And we'll make that available to our members, hopefully through the roundabout. But I think it's an important statement. It's important to know that organizations are moving, they're acting, and the status quo is not going to stand. An announcement sort of from the IMU, our celebrations of service will continue on Zoom for the time being. Take a deep breath. IMU has notified our club and other service organizations that it's unlikely that we'll have access to the IMU for several more months. Board of Directors will be looking at other alternative social meeting opportunities outdoors, as well as eventually resuming lunch meetings. It will be interesting. And I'm going to send out an email to all the members today, later today, giving a little more detail on that situation. Tomorrow, Wednesday, at 5:30 p.m., those of you who are past presidents of the club will gather to celebrate and welcome Ashley Sullivan into our ranks. Past presidents meeting is an annual tradition in our club, and Ashley will be the 10th woman to serve as our club's president. Let's see, you got to keep the timing going. Do we have happy dollars? Anyone happy today?
Yes.
Could be a member, a visitor, a guest.
I have
Charlotte?
one.
Oh, wait. We have Ashley.
I'll go quickly. I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt today because I should have been at the Rotary International Convention in Honolulu. However, it was canceled for the first time since 1906. We didn't have a live convention, but we are having one virtually, and it's free. So it starts Saturday the 20th and it goes through Friday, June 26th. So everyone can sign up. It's free. You're going to be able to meet with a lot of people, a lot of fellow Rotarians from around the world. It's going to be very fun and give us a lot of background information. And most people can't travel to those international conventions. So I think it's going to be a really exciting time to connect and get to know some people that we haven't met before. All of the info for how to register will be in the roundabout. So make sure to look for the links.
Okay, I have one.
Okay, Charlotte.
Oh, she's on mute.
Charlotte, you're muted. There you
Now,
go.
now am I not muted? Okay, I'm happy because I think there's a lot of there are a lot of good things happening in the country at this time, especially happy about the Supreme Court decision yesterday, which was remarkable and unexpected, really, really good. And I think that there's more to come, which is really lucky for us. So I'm very happy about that.
Thank you. That's a big deal. Yes.
It is a big deal, and I think, you know, there in the HT this morning was a rundown of what the Bloomington police have done in the 6 years ago. The agenda that they set themselves 6 years ago to improve policing, it's pretty impressive. So we're lucky. There's always more to do, of course, but we've got a good start here in this community.
Another happy dollar. Hey, Rosie is here. Hi, Rosie.
Yeah, actually, I give a happy dollar because I know I've missed so many meetings, and I'm really happy to be back today for a bit, and good to see everybody. I really miss you all, but happy to at least be on the Zoom call. So thank you.
Are you clown? Are you clown?
Am I what?
Are you clowning?
No, unfortunately, I haven't been clowning because it's still people are holding off from having, you know, in-person events. So I've done a clown video, which was fun, but no, right now it's just kind of quiet, but I guess it's okay. On another note, I am having knee replacement surgery on Thursday, so I guess my happy dollar should go all to that and just have a successful new knee.
No, all of our best wishes are with you,
Thank
Rosie.
you. Thank you. Yeah, can't wait till it's over with.
Okay, Sandy?
I have a happy dollar because probably one of the most challenging clients we've ever worked with for the last year and a half got hired in a big way yesterday, and we're just celebrating her success like you wouldn't even imagine. So it's a big deal. Very, very happy.
Congratulations.
Great, Sandy.
This is Bill Perkins.
Bill Perkins, yes.
Yeah, I want to contribute $20 happy dollars. Two things I'm happy for, $10 each. First, our grandson, Marine Sergeant Sam Perkins, has now returned to the United States after spending 7 months in the area around Okinawa, either on Okinawa or in 2 naval vessels there. So we're happy to have him back in the country. And secondly, Phyllis and I will be celebrating our 60th wedding anniversary on Thursday of this week.
Wow.
He's put up with me for 60 years.
Wow.
Excellent.
Wow.
Congratulations. Okay, any other happy dollars?
Aaron, I'm happy that joining us today is Debbie Webb of the Anderson Rotary Club. Debbie was a team mate working on the district conference that was canceled back in April, but welcome Debbie Webb of Anderson Rotary.
Yes, welcome. And Whitney Cordova is here. I don't think we made, contact, but Whitney is a former Fulbright scholar and currently, an MD and currently working at Centerstone. So welcome. How are you doing, Whitney?
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm doing very well. I'm very happy to be here online, but very happy to see your faces. And I'm looking forward to the discussions and different things that we will be addressing today.
Thank you. And Rex Hillary is here, Tim Jessen, welcome everyone, Trent Deckard and Lance Everly. Well, I think, Michael, are you ready to give your little introduction?
I think so. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be momentarily opening the rooms, and you will all be put into the rooms. your facilitator will pretty much tell you what's going to go on here, but the idea is some discussion. They have questions, and hopefully everybody gets an opportunity to talk about the issues. I have tried really hard to ensure that you get the groups that you selected in our poll. I apologize if you get moved into a room that doesn't. You can raise your hand and I can potentially reassign you or try to reassign you. There's a lot going on my end at the same time. And for some people who got here late, you're not actually on the list yet. And so I can't quite assign you. I think, I hope to be able to assign you as soon as I open rooms and everybody moves to it, then I'll be able to assign you at that point. So hopefully we'll be able to get you into the room real quickly afterwards. With that, I'm ready to open the rooms and move y'all in if you're good.
Okay, send them back to their rooms now.
All right.
Yes.
Ready for some good discussion?
No,
Here we go,
no
folks.
lunch.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, a few, about 4 people talked about how to handle the pandemic. So it was good, but I didn't learn anything new.
Novel experience.
Just makes you really smart.
I like the breakout idea, though. I think it's an interesting idea. I guess I thought it was going to have more to do, more content rather than just each of us sharing what we were doing during the pandemic.
Here comes everybody. Wow. Look at this. Amazing.
What, that went by so fast.
It's amazing to watch you all come back into the room, into the meeting room here.
Worked
was
really well.
Really fast too. Wow.
We're in the big room now?
So
This is
we're
the
in the
big
big room once again.
Big room. Okay.
That was the
So that was
fastest 12 minutes.
Yeah,
that was an experiment, and
It feels like Star Trek.
Yeah, you all look a lot more excited than you were 12 minutes ago.
Did someone say Star Trek?
Yeah.
I thought it was terrific. I
That's
actually,
how-
it was too short. It was too short.
Yeah, we only got one
Yeah.
question and barely got that one done.
Well, but this is an experiment, and it'll bode well
Yeah.
for the future discussion. So
Yeah.
Great.
We'll learn from this one, and yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's a
we
good
wanted
start,
to
but
know
very
if-
short.
we wanted to know if there would be a taste for more.
Is there another one?
I
And
got
we're
two
going to
questions
have-
to go. I
we're
got two
going-
questions to go. We haven't even touched on, so we got 2 more sessions to go.
We'll figure that out, and we have a lot of meetings coming up on Zoom apparently.
Yeah, right.
So this will be great. Are we all back? Yes. Well, there's
I think so.
59 people here.
It's 59, yeah.
Excellent. So what we're going to do now, while Michael has to set up manually, has to set up everybody else's presence in a room, in the next room. It's going to take a couple of minutes. So during that time, I'd like Ashley to talk about our meeting next week.
All right, our next celebration of service is June 23rd, right here. We'll begin with an experiment again, but this time it's if you arrive before noon, you'll be put into a breakout room just to have some social time, just like arriving to your lunch table in the Frangipani. So that's gonna be fun. Then at noon, we'll jump into our regular celebration of service. Our speaker will be Drew Johansson, the IU diving coach, and he'll be talking about the new world of diving introduced by Owen Johnson. So be here and ready to socialize and talk amongst your table.
Okay. So after this second session, we'll rejoin together again and have a wonderful event, recognizing one of our outstanding members. So that's going to be quite a joyful thing. Until, well, we still have a little time to kill. Oh, great, Lance. I'm glad that people appreciated the breakout, because we've been talking about not having enough social time and not having any time. And so this is a bit of an antidote.
Well,
So we will also have the Rotary Zoom Cafe on Thursday at 7 p.m. as usual. Everybody's invited. It's the same URL, the same address. We've had some really great little discussions there, getting to know each other more. And then we're going to have on Thursday our final board meeting of this year. Wow. So Ashley will take part in that too, and we'll be trying to talk a little bit about this year and the future next year. So looking forward to that. The celebration of service on July 7th is going to be the changeover. Again, which Ashley is going to be taking over after I have a whole bunch of pictures representing my year as president. It's been a really amazing experience.
yeah.
Quite amazing. I highly recommend it, especially if you have the time. I had the time. I sort of lapsed right from retirement, stopping teaching into the club presidency, and so that worked out well for me. And it's quite an honor, quite a privilege. So I'm still waiting for the high sign from Michael.
Seriously.
There's a high sign. It's his Adam's apple.
So at the celebration of service on July 7th, I'm going to recognize a few other people, especially, just all the folks who have helped out in so many different ways. And I will also present the annual Service Above Self Award at that time. So don't miss July 7th. And if you cannot attend one of our virtual meetings, just remember that they're available on YouTube. Our club actually has a channel now. And if you want to subscribe, if you go to the channel and actually hit the subscribe button, thanks to Alan Barker, you'll be able to get notifications from when a new YouTube is posted. So that's all good. Michael.
Yes, and we're ready to move into the second room. I'll click on it, and then you'll all be moved in the second room, except for a few people who were late or we had some issues. And I'll be assigning you as soon as I can get everybody in the other room. So here we go.
Ooh, everybody's flying back in. That's just so magical. It's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Glad to have
Welcome
you
back, everybody.
Obviously, 12 minutes is not enough time.
Yeah.
I am
Not
back.
enough time.
I am back. The minute you get into the room, a pair of gloves given to you, all your healthcare provider having mask and a glove. So the medical community sincerely believe, just like mentioned earlier, it's not a protecting of yourself, but you're protecting everybody else. And that is the responsibility we bear to minimize the dissemination of this illness.
Thank you, Raj.
Thanks, Raj. And so here we are. We're all back, and 57 at least, plus partners. So I'd like to ask that everybody who would like to have a little bit of follow-up discussion on this experience, on these breakout session experience, to stay after the meeting a little bit, after we close the meeting, and if you can. But in the meantime, we've got a really special thing to do here as a club, and that is to recognize a remarkable Rotarian. And Glenda Murray will give the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. And my question to all of us is, how in the world can we ever thank Judy Schroeder for her over 30 years and counting as editor of the newsletter? That's a very
Wow.
good picture. Formerly the Rotary.
Yay, Judy.
Now and there's the, I won't read it at the end because you can all see it now. So
I'll do it again.
we're presenting Judy today with the Distinguished Club Service Award, which is right there so that you can see it. It says, presented to the Roundabout newsletter editor-in-chief, Judy Schroeder, honoring more than 3 decades for extraordinary professionalism, editorial skill, and exemplary service. And I'm going to talk just a minute about Judy. She joined the club in 1988, one of the first of the women in the club. She became the newsletter editor shortly thereafter. In the old days, whoever was the reporter typed it up, Judy edited it, it went to the printer copied, addressed, and mailed it to us. Now, of course, most of us get it by email. Then we came to Jim Bright as president. He suggested a new name, a new format, and photos, and Judy and her team of intrepid reporters learned how to do all of those things, and Charlie Osborne began taking pictures that he's still taking. Whoever is the reporter, the volunteer writes the newsletter and sends the text and photos to Judy to edit, and then to Natalie, and then to be sent to all. I can think, I did a really good job this week on this draft, and Judy will write back with suggestions that make my reporting clearer. She will correct the typos, she will correct the misspelled names, and whatever other errors one of us may have done. So through it all, Judy has been cheerful, full of ideas and suggestions, and always professional. So let's join in a round of applause for Judy.
Hey, Judy. Thank you very much, but it's a little bit wrong because Bob Salzberg and I used to trade back and forth as the chair of the committee, and I would never do anything without the wonderful reporters that have been there, like Bill Perkins and Bob and Glenda. You've been doing it for 30 years, and then Jim and Jim Bright and Kyla Cox-Deckard and Sarah. Oh my gosh, I'm going to forget something. Ellen, it's a good group. And so thank you very much, but I don't deserve this. So, but thank you.
But you've kept us moving in the right direction all these years, so thank you.
It's a gift of leadership that you've brought to us and to the Roundabout. And it's such a pleasure to work with you, and it has been. You know, it's just one of those great things about being in Rotary, to be able to acknowledge somebody who's provided such wonderful vocational service and club service. You know, your work as an editor in publications, you know, led to this contribution that you've made to us, our organization, and others, and it's just amazing. Sorry, I'm blabbering, but
I just want to add that it's every single week, all year long, and even when we aren't having club meetings, and you know, Aaron says, I think we can still continue the Roundabout, and sure enough, we did. And so thank you so much, Judy, for just being there, just being resilient and doggedly determined to turn it out every single week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy.
And now my my thought of the week before we do the 4-way test is just thank you, Judy Schroeder, for being a remarkable Rotarian and Bloomingtonian. And now, 4-way test. Of the things we think,
say, or do.
First is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill, and a better
friendship.
Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And is it fun?
Yay. Congratulations.
Did you want to give them feedback?
Okay, if anybody would like to share, well, first of all, you know, anything else to be said about Judy Schroeder?
I would
I've
just
not-
like, this is
Go ahead.
this is her daughter, Cecily, and I just wanted to thank you for allowing us to join and hear what you had to say today. I know how hard she works on the newsletter and how much pride she takes in it. And so I'm very, very proud that she's being recognized for that. Thank you.
Here, here.
Very nice. I got the pleasure of working with Judy in the League of Women Voters also. She puts together a mean officials list also.
She doesn't do anything that she doesn't do the best it can be done.
That's right.
So
That's exactly right.
sharing some of those skills and attention to detail with the community at large. She's a wonderful person. Thank you for recognizing her today.
She's also wonderful.
Thank you, Judy.
And I had the pleasure of being a roundabout reporter after I'd been in the club for a year, just for one month, I think it was 5 weeks, right around this time of the year between the transition of from Jim Bright to Lance Everly as president. And yeah, it was just an awesome experience. So I do recommend anybody who's thinking of being a reporter for the roundabout and working with Judy. It's quite a privilege. And now, if we could shift over to talking about the experiences with the breakout sessions, starting with the facilitators, I think.
Well, if I give you my 2 cents, it's pretty intense getting everybody into the groups. But once we did that, it went pretty smoothly, and we learned a couple things. So next time, it's going to be even easier. So thanks for letting me try this, folks.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Michael for putting it all together.
Yeah, thanks,
Yes,
Michael.
thank you, Michael.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. So
And
I was
Jim.
one of the facilitators, and in my group we were talking about social fun, and we just didn't have enough time to get all that fun out there, and we missed some people. So that was a little stressful, I thought. So maybe next time if we do this, maybe we'll just focus on one question, or not necessarily one question, but maybe one breakout room. Everybody will just pick one, because even this way we had to pick 2 out of 3. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll just have one, right?
I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Joy, did you have any?
Yes. So concur that the time was not enough. Interesting from my perspective how different the 2 breakout groups were. So presented initially the subject at hand, and then they were both different conversations, and how beautiful that was. So no, I think it's a great platform to bring us together in smaller groups. So kudos to those that thought it through and made it happen.
So in great,
Yes.
and
Jim
small-
Sims.
and greater times, longer times.
Right. Jim
Yes,
Sims?
first thing I want to do is thank Michael and everyone that was able to put this together. And I'll concur with everyone else. 12 minutes went awfully, awfully fast. But I think one of the most important things is that this will lead to further conversations, but it gives us an opportunity, at least in the breakout room I was in, which had to do with racial justice. It gives you an opportunity to digest maybe other perspectives, hear what each other has to say and what they think and some of their perspectives, but understanding how much further we have to go. And this was a great way to get started. And I will say it again, I think being a part of this club is a good thing to be. And I am just so happy. I'm proud of all of us for taking that small step for mankind. No, this is not a lunar, but I thought those words were appropriate. So thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
This is Raj.
Raj, yes.
I agree with everybody said. I think 1 or 2 topics will be dissected a little bit more in detail. People will feel much more comfortable to speak when there is a little time rather than a rush. And today, of course, the topic are all critical for the time we are in. And I hope by the time things settle down, we have issue that all of us could participate in it as a club or as a breakout.
You know,
I appreciate what I heard today. I learned a lot, but you feel comfortable as the hour go by, but the 12 minutes was short of that time.
okay. Yeah.
Don't want to be rude, but I'll jump in. I thank Michael. I also want to thank Sue very quickly. Thank you, Sue, for co-facilitating. I think we did good today.
Thank you so much. And thank Michael, thank Jim, Aaron. And I really did enjoy being able to participate. You did very well. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, Sue. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other comments?
Yeah, I have a comment, and that is, I know I was one of the people who talked too much, but it's helpful for me to know how many people are in the group and to know each person has approximately 1 minute. I probably took 2 or 3 minutes in one group, and we didn't get to finish, so I apologize for that. But I think it's great. It's just a really wonderful opportunity to talk about something meaningful with people we know and love and don't get to know very well often.
Hey, can I say something?
Yes.
Yes, it seems to me what would be really helpful would be if we could somehow out of this can agree on an activity that Rotary could undertake for the community. That we have an outcome that's a purpose, and it's something that we can work on as a club to contribute to the community. It seems to me that would be the best thing that could come out of it.
And that could be the subject of for a club assembly in the future, where the time could be devoted and engage in a process to do that. But yeah, we need time. This was just an experiment, and we didn't want to, stick people into a group for too long if we weren't sure they'd be engaged or interested. And so Michael, planned it out, I think, very, very thoughtfully, and with Alan, and the facilitators were excellent. And yeah, it's a work in progress. So
it's a great first step, though. A great first step.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Aaron. I think the Rotary Club needs to be commended on trying this. I think the technology and all that we're able to switch back from one group to the other, and I think for the first time it went very well, and the Bloomington Rotary Club, I think, is one of the only or few Rotary clubs meeting on Zoom, and to develop the technology and using this technology has been stupendous. So,
bravo!
Congratulations!
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Nice work, Michael.
Yep, great job, Michael.
I wanted to say something about the action steps, Charlotte. I wanted to repeat Sue's action to us to email John Huco.
Can you get us his address?
It'll be in the roundabout, and to remind us what the resolution number is as well. It'll all be there. But I think that was a great action step that we can take to further the cause of Rotary being more inclusive, and really championing that resolution that we made as a club. And the next step, I agree, Charlotte, is to have more discussion that spurs on more action in the community. So thank you both for bringing that up, and thanks, Sue, for giving us a concrete action to take.
I agree.
And I don't think that everybody may not know that Sue is working, and Jim Bright and others are actually talking at the zone level and beyond to try to make things happen. So this isn't, writing to John Huco is a good thing, and it's part of a strategy to try to make some shift within Rotary, and we can do it.
Good.
Kate, you had
I
a
just wanted to
question?
I just wanted to make sure that the book that Sue recommended is also in the roundabout. I unfortunately didn't get into that group until the last 90 seconds, so
right.
I really want to get that.
What is
so.
it?
Actually, I'll send it to you if that's okay.
What is it?
Thank you, Sue.
And Ashley, thank you so much for your engagement. And I've always felt, you know, like you were there too, supporting me, and I'm going to support you in your term as president. And I'm just looking forward to a really, you know, great year for you and then for Sally. I mean, we've got a wonderful lineup and a great club. So thank you all.
Thank you. I'll take all the help I can get.
Jim, there was something you wanted to say?
I did. I just want to say one thing. I happen to be a Black person. I know you all didn't notice that at all. But I've had these conversations, seems like all of my life. And one of the things that makes that I was getting weary of is that we've had all these conversations, nothing really seemed to change. And like I said the other day, this feels a little bit different. But what I'm getting to, I think I really want to congratulate Raj and his foresight of this diversity initiative, because what this does, it keeps it in the forefront of what it is we're doing and why we're doing it. And it's not going to be, you know, once this national uproar, once it goes away, we'll still be talking about that and working toward a solution to what I consider the symptoms of the root disease. So I just want to mention that. So it's these efforts that keep things at the forefront, and that'll make us better as we move forward. So thank you, Raj. Thanks, everyone.
Jim, can I say something about the racial justice?
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things I wondered about was the fraternal order of police here, how they function, and the fact that the sheriff's department is another piece of our policing or whatever, and that needs to be looked at as well.
Well, I would agree with that, and not only that, we have a presence of we have a president of the Indiana State Police, the Indiana University Police, I think to a certain extent, Ellisville Police. But the question that you pose with FOP, that's more of a union negotiating thing that has to do with administration, as you know. But I think we as a community, the word I'm looking for is accountability. And that has to be a part of discussions with FOP. And I'll leave it at that. So that's my thought. And thanks for bringing that up, Charlotte. I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Aaron, I just want to say one thing. I appreciate what Jim just said. But the truth of the matter, all of us have to work together. All of us, we have to put an end to all these elusive promises of equity and justice. We need to make it to move. We need to be united so we could prosper, and we should avoid the divide and conquer.
Yes.
Thank you for a great Rotary Club and all your effort. And I'm doing what I can in my capacity. And I hope every one of us does their own thing as well to bring unity and prosperity to all.
Yes.
Hear, hear.
Yeah. Since your meeting is officially over, here's the non-Rotarian who's always looking over her husband's shoulder at your meetings. I guess as I listened to the last part of this, I was thinking about a saying that, you know, the error, as far as racism, the error is not always in commission, but in omission, the things we don't do.
Yes.
And I have to commend you all for this meeting and, you know, your efforts individually and collectively to address this issue. And I have to say that I missed the first part of your meeting because I was writing a letter to the editor. So I encourage also your letters to your congressman and John Hugo and whomever. So I commend you all for being active in these issues.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
Well, before we close, I just want to shout out to Wendell St. John, who's also here, and then anyone else who hasn't been identified and hugged. We care about you, and we miss you, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.